For free.
We are back on the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Welcome back to the program. Now we're talking about something that, as I mentioned, probably some of our listeners might try to ignore, but it's not going to go away. We're talking with Sharyl Ross, who is a partner at BDO, a expert in tax advice. Sharyl, welcome to Get Down to Business.
Hi, Shalom. How are you?
Fantastic. So, Sharyl, we've got so much to cover, so much advice. Tax season is, we're in the thick of it, and not enough time. So, Sharyl, let's talk with the key important dates that our listeners need to know. What are the tax deadlines that are coming up?
Well, March 15th is a very important date, and this year, for those of us who like to procrastinate, they've given us an additional day. March 16th is the corporate filing deadline. That's tomorrow. So if you are a corporate entity and you have not yet filed your tax return, you can file an extension and have until September 15th to get your return done.
What about for individuals that might not be a business owner?
So individuals, April 15th, that's the date you want to circle on your calendar. Again, your tax return is due on April 15th, but more importantly, both with your corporate returns and your individual returns, an extension does not give you an extended time to pay your taxes. It gives you an extended time to file your tax return. So you need to be certain that if you owe tax tomorrow on March 15th, if you're a corporation, rather March 16th, or on April 15th, that you send your money into Uncle Sam and the Illinois Department of Revenue.
So speaking about the Illinois Department of Revenue, there's rumors flying around that they're behind. They're behind in processing refunds, behind in some of the correspondence. I know the IRS is certainly hard to reach at this time of the year. What inside scoops do you have, Sharyl?
Well, it's not surprising. A lot of our government agencies are understaffed, and they're getting an influx of people contacting them this time of year. There's been a lot of rule changes, so certainly they're being inundated with additional questions. And even at their end, they have new things to learn and are also trying to keep up. So clearly you'll have delays in getting responses to your questions. You may be on hold for a while, and nothing too unusual, nothing that we really didn't expect.
That's helpful. So once again, we're talking with Sharyl Ross of BDO, providing some tax advice. So Sharyl, we're now in the 2015 tax season for folks that are filing their 2014 returns. Are there any new tax credits, any new things that people should be looking out for as they prepare their documents?
There are lots of new things, and there's credits available. I'm trying to think if there's anything uniquely new this year. Not significantly so, but what I would like to call everybody's attention to is that, so often this time of year when people are filing their returns, Shalom, I'll hear people say, I'm not sure I have the ability to pay, and they actually think of not filing on time. And I want to caution everybody that, yes, there's ways to, save on certain types of items that may be on your tax return, and you may want to push off filing for whatever reasons you can think of, but it's always better to file a return whether or not you can remit tax with that extension or with that tax return, because you'll have fewer penalties if you file than if you both file and pay late.
Uncle Sam won't forget, huh?
Nope.
Uncle Sam won't forget. Sharyl Ross, thanks for all the helpful advice. So tell us a little bit about BDO. Tell us a little bit about the practice and the sort of clients that you're used to seeing. Well,
Shalom, as you know, our firm SS&G merged as of the first of the year with BDO, and with BDO's attitude of people first and a culture that wants to help individuals and businesses grow, and has a standard of performance of excellence and client service, it was a really good fit for us. We are able to service middle market firms as well as startups, and with BDO behind us, we can even service your publicly traded company. So we have a wide breadth of clients and customers that we can serve.
Well, that's fantastic. And now you're servicing clients really all over the country, perhaps even all over the world, which is fantastic. And Sharyl, you are very actively involved in the community. The minute that we have remaining won't do justice to your involvement, but tell us a little bit about where you're involved in and how BDO as a company is giving back to the community.
Well, our relationship has gone back several years now, Shalom, and you know that our firm and its predecessor firms have supported Jewish B2B networking by having quarterly luncheons with your organization and having the opportunity to have business owners meet professionals, and that's been a wonderful service that we have been able to provide. In addition, my personal involvement has been with an organization called Libenu, which I know you've spoken to Shana Ehrenberg on your show in the past, and that's an organization that's providing residential options to individuals with disabilities. And our firm has always been a supporter of that and has actually been a sponsor for the latest gala that they held recently. In addition, I am on a board with you, Shalom, and a community organization called JCC WRP, which is an organization that is dedicated to the improvement of the West Rogers Park area. And
we had a great conversation with Howard Rieger, our board president of the JCC WRP last week, talking a little bit about the unique culture in West Rogers Park and the really great opportunities, the great things that are coming up. So, Sharyl, we're running out of time. How can people get a hold of you?
Feel free to call me. My direct dial here is 847-779-6219. And there's lots of things you can do before you file your tax returns this year. If you haven't thought about SEPs or IRA accounts, you still have till April 15th to make an IRA contribution.
Fantastic. Cheryl, thanks for all the advice. We'll have you back on to talk a little bit more about the great advice that you can provide. But once again, you're listening to Get Down to Business. After the break, we're talking with Andrea Storrs. He's going to be sharing some job tips.